So we're going to take a little trip to Mexico and see how the new C5Z, the newest C5Z does in Mexico against a 2015 Mustang GT with an exhaust. Now we have no idea what kind of power this thing makes because we have not put it on the dyno yet. All I've done is street tune it, and I'm not sure what the fueling is. I just know that the part throttle is okay. It feels pretty good though. So it could be running like an 11:0 air-fuel ratio instead of like a 12:8. It could be running all over the place. But so far it looks safe, and we're gonna we're gonna see how it holds up against a Mustang GT. And then you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna end up throwing it on the dyno and seeing what kind of power it was actually making. So here we go, the Mustang GT, the 5.0 in it. Let's go kick his ass.
Hell yeah. Try round two. Yeah, dude. You'll get him on top, man. Oh, maybe not.
Okay, so me and the gang are back from Mexico. That's great. That was a lot closer of a race than I thought it was going to be. So we got the first race. That was pretty cool. That made I started in second gear. It traction control kicked on, and then the second race we started in first gear, and all I did was spin. So that sucked. That definitely sucked. But yeah, so 1-1. We're going to put her on the dyno now and find out what she actually makes, because again, it has not been dyno tuned. I only did a light street tune on it to get it to like idle and drive nice. We're going to see what she does, hopefully improve it, and then maybe we'll race again. Okay, so the good red Corvette is on the dyno, but we haven't looked underneath of it yet to find out all the fun stuff we need to fix. It looks like there is a gasket leaking, or maybe the front seal. That'll be addressed shortly. The lower oil pan, so that's just like bat wing kind of looking thing, is has definitely been off and RTV'd. You can see a little RTV right here. So maybe that's leaking too. We'll take one step at a time. We do have long tube headers with cats, and it looks like, yep, right here. Well, it looks like we have a little bit of a seep there. We'll have to keep an eye on that, but looks like it goes right back to the factory titanium exhaust as expected. I don't see anything wrong with that. It's just crooked, which we should be able to adjust. So yeah, I do have a surprise announcement for this thing then, but you'll have to wait. And it looks like we have an underdrive pulley, if I didn't mention that previously. Like you can see in here that is that the power bond? I don't even know what that says. I can't see it on my phone, but yeah, it's definitely an underdrive pulley. Cool. Anything else? Wait, does it have an upgraded rad? Holy shit, I think it has an upgraded rad. Look at that. That's a big thick rad. That's an all... Is that all aluminum? Yeah! Hell yeah! More parts! More parts! She's on the dyno. We are just getting ready to do it. I think that this thing, judging by how it's running on the street, I think that the baseline is going to be somewhere around 400, 410 to the wheels. Now these things usually dyno, well this one because it's a 2001 dyno is a hair less. It usually dynos somewhere around like 360. The 2002 and newer with the slightly larger camshaft tends to dyno somewhere like 370 to 380. So I'm interested to see where she's going to line up with what's done, but I do believe that we're going to see something around 410, and I think that after tuning, if I'm correct, we're going to see somewhere around 420, and hopefully the torque's going to be up. Because right now the torque sucks. Like at 3,500 RPMs, there's like nothing there right now. I have a good feeling that it's somewhere around like 360 rear wheel torque. That's my guess based on what we just saw on the street. With that said, let's find out. If you guys have any bets, place them now. I mean, I really don't care because you're not like here, so I can't really see if what you're betting, but congratulations, you won. My Mexican buddy.
Oh.
So what kind of power do you think she's going to put down?
Cam only? Cam and exhaust?
Yeah, how it sits without tuning it.
Oh, without tuning it?
Yeah, so I did a street tune on it. Like how we were out in Mexico all those days ago because the trip was very long.
402.
402. Okay. What do you think?
366.
366. You fuck.
Heard, man. Mustang V8s.
Well, only one run because I spun.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna live that down. He's gonna come in here like hot shit. I gotta throw his.
You better make some adjustments.
Yeah. I'm gonna throw his Pop-Tart in the trash when he comes in here next.
Just crumple it up.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll be like, fuck you and your Mustang, and I'll throw that Pop-Tart in the trash.
Yeah.
Those numbers are a little disappointing. We're gonna have to make those right.
The average between the two poles was pretty close to 366.
So this thing's breaking up in the top end, and not sure why. This is going to be a good segment into probably one of the next videos on what to do if you buy a modded car. Let's say a cammed car. That'll be a good next video because that's what we're going to do right now. So step one is usually like pretty simple, change the oil. Step two, change spark plugs and wires. That's usually a good thing. And step three, this is where it gets a little harder. So for you guys that are not as mechanically adept, you'll probably want to find a shop that specializes in LS engines to do this. But you want to change the valve springs. What we're going to do on mine right now is we're just going to change the spark plugs, and then we're going to get into the valve springs later. So I just got the first plug out from cylinder 1, and I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's a crack right down it. And then also one of the spark plug wires looks like it has some kind of like cancer. I don't know if you can see the bend on it, but we're going to ohm it out. Here, ohm this one first. I believe this to be a good one. Crack.
Oh, geez. Yeah, right there.
Maybe that's my issue. So that should be a good one.
4.1.
Okay, here, this one looks like it has cancer. It's got like a lump on it. Always check yourself for lumps, guys.
5.3.
Yeah, okay, so that one's got
Yeah,
more
so
resistance.
I definitely would replace this one. That definitely feels... That's cracked.
So I'm going to keep on plugging and chugging. I need a beer to continue this. But we'll We'll see what else we find and see if we can make good dyno runs after this. Wouldn't it be funny if like all that power and shit that we raced was only on 7 cylinders? So I'll tell you, one of the cool things about working on this car is that it has coated headers, which have cooled down extremely fast. Like, I was just running it and I'm able to put my hands right on the headers, which is great for changing the spark plugs right now, because this is a bitch for some of these. Woo. But yeah, that's one of the reasons why we do offer coated headers, because you know, it keeps heat at bay. Not engine bay, just at bay. Okay, so we're going to put in a new set of TR55s. We found one bad one, and then the wires were all questionable, so hopefully doing this will get to the power that we want to be at. The new plug wires and spark plugs are in. We're using TR55s. It's naturally aspirated, so no need to go to a colder step, at least at this point. Who knows what's in the future? So looking at the spark plugs can give you a good idea of how the car is running. And it's definitely something that I would recommend as one of the first changes. Also, oil. Oil, spark plugs, maybe spark plug wires, depending how they ohm or if you just feel like it. If there's any damage to any of the plug wires, just ditch them. And then finally, if you're doing a cam car and you don't have any history, or if you don't trust it, and it's better not to trust history, change the valve springs. The valve springs do have a limit on how many miles they will run. So usually you say about 20,000 miles, 15, 20, 25,000 miles, depending on the spring. If you have no history of the car, change the valve springs. You know, best thing to do if you're not mechanically inclined is bring it to a shop like ours. You know, we can go over the car, we can give it that tune-up and freshen up things by putting on a new set of, let's say, Texas Speed valve springs, which I think that's what we're going to do to this one. Okay, so here's one of the big reasons why to check your valve springs, because if you look right here, there it is, broken spring. And that's the reason why we're not making power. Also, whoever put this together previously definitely used the wrong retainers, because all of these are all kinds of fucked up. Like, this is what you get when you buy a modded car. You get stupid shit because people are fucking retards. Excuse my language, but that's exactly what happened here. I have a strong feeling that if we could see through this, then it's probably the stock. Nope, it looks like it is an aftermarket valve seal. But yeah, definitely some fucking hack worked on this before, and we are lucky that we did not drop a valve. Look at that, we got a Texas Speed valve spring kit for the LS. Yep, 660 lift, ready to rock. We're gonna get this stuff installed tonight and try it again in the morning. So this fancy kit here includes the titanium retainers, more titanium retainers, the new dual springs, and then it's got these fancy seats and seals that are one piece, basically like the factory, but well, made for the dual spring kit, and so that's going to be nice. Let's see, do we got 16? Because we need 16. I count 8 and 8, so that makes 16. Ready to rock. And this reuses the factory keepers or locks. So it's a nice kit for a nice price, and they're made by Pack now. They used to be PRC's own line. In fact, that might be what these old boys are that broke. That line is done with from Texas Speed, so rest assured if you do buy their new springs, they are not the old ones. So we're going to throw these guys on and see if we can make that 400 some mark tomorrow. Yeah, there's a number 1 spring. Looks like the inside spring was the thing that was really holding it together, which is great.
Broken.
This is
4 different spaces.
Yeah. Yeah, this was the only thing that was really keeping it from dropping, which is one of the big benefits of doing a dual spring kit, because if it's a single spring and that single spring breaks, goodbye engine. But with a dual spring, you have a chance of surviving, and that's exactly what happened to us now. Got the fancy new springs going on. Giggity. And for those of you wondering how we're doing this in the car, we have air pressure going to the cylinder, filling it up and keeping the valves up. So we got the old springs off and the new springs on. We're going to call it quits here for the night, and we are going to dyno again in the morning. I hope you enjoyed our video tonight, and stay tuned for tomorrow when we find out if we have a nice big power gain. Have a good one. Thanks for watching.
Like that, she's running. Ready for dyno.